bomb got dropped upon us all, and the list of all unknowns is tall. But if there's anything we know, our stubbornness has shown, we'll climb up after any fall. We know who we are, but we still don't know who named us. Yeah, we know where we are, but we don't know where we came from. Leftover ashes in the sky, and the nations, all they do is fight. Yeah, the crown broke all our trust, so I guess it's up to us to save whatever's left of life. We know who we are, but we still don't know who named us. Yeah, we know where we are, but we don't know where we came from. But we still don't know who named us. Yeah, we know where we are, but we don't know where we came from. Oh, we know who we are, but we still don't know who named us. Yeah, we know where we are, but we don't know where we came from.
Hello everyone, this is the Nameless One, and today we will be continuing the Lost Memories Second Chances campaign. I have here with me today Nez, Fiction, and Ice. We may have other people pop in, but I don't know at this point. Nobody seems to be able to tell me yes or no if they're actually going to be here. Before we get started with the recap, don't forget links in the description if you want to show further support to the channel. Also, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and ring the notification bell. Other than that, who would like to do the recap for me?
Well, I don't remember what happened, so there's
Darn it. I can piece it together. Fuck. I'm bad at names. I need to zoom into the map. Where are we? We're over here. We came to this town because Ivory Facade said so, and we quickly realized who it is that lives here, and it's full of God engine worshipping cultists, and basically Ivory seems to convince the leader to allow some of them to come work with us because we came here because we needed bodies, basically. And so basically we have permission, but now we need to go out and actually ask people.
Yeah, I think the exact wording was we're allowed to bring whoever we can convince to go. And he's like, good luck with that.
Yeah, that's it. Other than that, it was mostly details. So that's what happened.
That sounds about right. So, fiction.
Yes.
You have some convincing to do.
Yes. Need to do some proselytizing. What would I use for that?
Let me open your character sheet.
Um,
I like how we all sound equally as dead inside at the moment.
It's gonna be a fun session for our viewers.
yeah, man.
I mean-
Sorry, the creek needed me last night.
I ended up waking up halfway through my night's rest, so I haven't been up for very long.
I keep having to deal with somebody else's dog peeing on my floor.
Ooh.
Don't babysit dogs if you don't want to deal with them.
Yeah.
That is true.
I mean, I guess fast talk would be a way, but you then would have to shift it to acting for long term if you want
Okay.
to continue to keep them in the dark. But I am gonna say that I'm gonna have you do it at a -2 because you're kind of at a disadvantage here.
Yeah. Could actually let me take a look at these before I say anything. So, alright. So you said use fast talk for him
Fast talk's -2
for now.
Yep.
Okay.
For the initial
I-
convincing.
Alright. Could I potentially use propaganda in this case, or would that be a no?
I'm gonna say that propaganda would probably be more along the lines of the entire tribe at once, and
Okay.
then you would be competing with whoever decides to step up and argue with you at the same time. And if that's
Alright.
half the tribe, you're not gonna get far.
Yeah. Alright. Damn, fast talk -2. That is a 10 to beat. Oh, come on, dice. Let's
50-50.
No. Ah.
Well,
That's a
Crazy Joe's
14.
more than willing to go with you, but he doesn't seem to know where he's going.
Crazy Joe's always been a real. If nobody's got me, I know Crazy Joe's got me. Mostly because he doesn't know why he's got me.
Yep, seems pretty accurate.
Am I able to try again?
I will allow, I think, 2 more. Should
Two
be.
more? Okay. I can do 2 more. Once again. Yeah, let's go. That's a success.
Go ahead and do.
And then final one. Oh, just made it. 2 successes.
So, you were able to convince 2 able-bodied recruits that were actually brand new to the tribe in general, and mainly because you promised good food.
I do believe I have cooking. Yes, I do.
Yeah, we have a few people who can cook.
This is the wrong notes. I need the D&D notes. There we go.
Okay.
So 2 newer recruits. Sounds like it's perfect time to or they're perfect people to slowly convert to my side. I'm a Brotherhood outcast this.
So, I'm assuming you guys are getting back on the road.
Yeah, if we can't get anyone else. We kind of don't want to linger here too long with the, disagreements lingering overhead.
Yeah. FPC bribery.
Yeah. Damn FPC, I mean the blessed Godmakers.
Excuse me. Okay. So are you guys gonna follow the train tracks back to the Ponytown crater with the scrap that you salvaged, or I don't remember if you even kept any of it.
I wrote it down somewhere.
No, I thought, we traded it to the leader for permission to do that.
Oh, did we?
No, I only gave 3 of my circuitry because circuitry is valuable.
Okay.
As tribute. I still have 3 servos, 5 door pistons. The party has a data pad, and then whatever else y'all have.
Yeah, I have 20 pounds of generic robot parts.
Yeah. Let's see. Got anything else? No, I think that's it.
Yeah.
Unless someone else has something.
Yeah, we could drop by Appaloosa Ruins again, see if we can pick up anything more.
Yeah.
It'll slow us down a bit, though.
Yeah, we can scout it before we drop in there and have a surprise party.
Okay. So it'll be a day's travel to about here, and then it'll take you a day to deal with this, head back out, and then I'd say that it's about 2 to 3 days travel back up here if you're following the tracks.
Yeah. So adding about 2 days to a 3-day journey. 5 days total.
It's fine by me.
I need to figure out
We have enough food.
how Moon did the calendar thing.
Yeah. I don't know where you got that.
It's a good question. Would be lovely if he was here so that I could ask it to him.
Yeah, he probably got it from some module. So, I believe you guys should be able to move yourselves. I'm not going to require a survival roll to get to the... since you're following the train tracks. But I will require perceptions. Yeah. Just move a day, do night stuff, move a day, that sort of thing.
That would be correct.
And-
You would still need to roll perception. Then.
Yes. Okay.
Ooh.
Woohoo! Very fancy.
So, I'm actually gonna. By the way, I need one more perception. Fiction.
Oh, sorry. I got you. Where there's.
Okay. So, Emerald,
Yeah.
as you guys are leaving the camp, you notice a very large, very ominous structure in the distance. You realize it's a structure only because it's kind of pointy. It's off over here. It's more pointy than the mountains around.
Okay.
The others would have assumed that it's just a big pointy rock. In fact, that is what this entire tribe generally thinks of that area. Is this just full of big pointy rocks and not worth going over there?
I pointed out, hey, that's not a rock. Is that a building? No, not that one. That one.
What, that one?
Yeah, that one.
Oh, so that one, not that one.
Oh, you know what? This is a perfect time to use my gizmos. I'll put on the little magnifier on my goggles there.
There is, in fact, a large
Got what?
black stone structure.
Yeah, there is
Yes, I think we're in the
definitely
nether.
something not normal there. It might be a ruined nether portal, you never know. You should probably check it out.
I didn't say obsidian. Ivory?
No,
give
man, it's a
me-
blackstone fortress.
I mean, obsidian's more of a glass.
Yeah.
Do the Hidden Lord God engines for me. This will be more a reference to your tribe.
Oh boy, what man-made horrors awaits me today. Success. Made by 7.
So, Crazy Joe, of all people, has been telling you guys there is something there for years, but now that you think of it, strangely enough, nobody believes him and nobody's ever gone to check.
I wonder why.
lore.
Crazy Joe lore. Crazy Joe was right all along.
I suggest we check it out.
I'm going to ask the craziest of the Joes, to basically explain what's there.
All you get from him
Like, what do you see?
is that his Cheerios are soggy. And then he asks you what a Cheerio is.
I'm a omen on that. Or oracle on that. I'm a oracle on that. I feel like there's hidden meaning in his insanity here.
I'm pretty sure oracling means you're not trying to discern what he's trying to tell you, you're just trying to discern what the universe is telling you through his crazed rambling that doesn't actually mean anything.
There's definitely
Use a sign.
There's
Trying to
definitely
discern
something over
meaning
there.
from his insanity.
One thing is, you don't know
Well,
if I
guys.
passed or failed.
Yeah. Well, guys, I don't know what it means, but there's definitely something over there. And I feel like there's something there.
Interesting.
Well, here's what I'm thinking. If it's so big that we can see it from here, I'm not sure we want to go over there and get closer.
That's a good point. However, what if we find some really good stuff there?
That's also possible.
Yeah. Also, Nameless, what's the name of our two pickups? What's their names?
You'd probably know who they are, yeah. At this
Well,
point.
you've got Steeljaw
I would definitely know.
and Coppertail.
Steel. Can I get like a description of them?
Well, Steeljaw
Like
quite literally
mannerisms and
has a steel plate across his bottom jaw. Big, chunky earth pony. Like, all muscle. And, Coppertail, while he doesn't have an actual copper tail, his entire body is about the color of it. And he's kind of more of a scrawny Pegasus. And then, of course, there's Joe. Joe looks like he hasn't eaten in 6 years.
Yeah.
And despite that appearance, he is probably the most terrifying one there. Because you never know what he's about to do.
Yep. Say, I spelled intimidate. I spelled it correctly. Oh yeah. Called out a Lux score of 9. Okay. Alright. We'll begin heading off in that direction, or do we want to hit the Ponytown crater first? Like, how far away would you say are we from the thing in the distance?
It's
You
about
said
a
it was like
day's...
over here?
No, it's over here.
Oh.
It's about a day's travel to that, roughly. And if you're following the train tracks, it'd be about 4 or 5 days to straight shot it to Ponytown.
Alright. Do we want to investigate that first and then go to Ponytown?
I mean... Sure, we're already here.
Alrighty. We shift direction.
I'm going to say that you guys follow the trail that's over here, and that'll be good enough to skip survival rolls.
Also,
Alright.
we can see it. How would we get lost if we can see it?
You'd be surprised.
Yeah.
I have
Yeah,
literally met somebody.
Don't underestimate.
I've literally met somebody who is that bad at navigation.
I feel like you'd have to take a disadvantage to be that bad at navigation.
I mean, we only saw it because of a critical perception check. It looks like all of the rocks it's around.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you guys get closer,
So,
the rocks around it aren't entirely black, but from a distance, they look black enough that it blends in with the surroundings. It's the fact that its shape is too uniform that tipped you off for its actual appearance.
Yeah, as a big fan of The Hatchet, which is an amazing book to read, it is very easy to get lost in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
Even with landmarks.
Yeah.
Again, I know somebody who can do that. It is honestly kind of impressive. And sad at the same time.
Everyone loves a little bit of critical failure.
Real life critical failure.
Oh. You're getting spicy. Spicy.
So, you guys make it to the structure, and it appears to be a large. Well, it's a large structure. It looked like they initially were thinking ziggurat, and then they realized ziggurats are kind of hard to navigate, so they dug a door into it at some point, and it's kind of all over the place with its construction. Because the top half is like pyramid, the bottom half's like ziggurat, and it's a door in the front, and they didn't know what they wanted, apparently.
Oh yes,
It is
the
massive,
old, though. Yes, the old Lovecraft style of construction.
So, it
Who's
is
Lovecraft? I don't know. I'm a pony.
It is getting later in the day. Do you want to camp before you investigate?
Can I check if like the door is open first before you set camp? Because if we set camp inside, it might be a bit more defendable.
The door is closed.
Is it locked?
I was wondering if you were going to ask that question.
Yeah. Yeah.
It does not appear to be locked, but it is an exceptionally heavy door. It is also made of stone.
Well, good thing we have a lot of people here.
This person has definitely played Rimworld.
So are you going to attempt all opening the door?
Yeah. Yeah, I'll call some of them over, like, hey, I think we can open it. I just need some bodies.
Okay, I'll help out.
Me too.
Alrighty. What do we need to roll for trying to open it?
Strength.
Strength. Oh yeah, let's get Steeljaw in on this too.
You want all three of them helping?
I mean,
well,
it's not just the three of them.
is
either.
like
you have more NPCs.
Steeljaw is, you know, big and buff, so I feel like he'd probably have the best time opening it.
As
Yeah.
Or helping
to
out.
as to I am having just the worst brain fart trying to keep track of character names here. As to Nebula,
Scrawny little Ivory, yes.
Nebula has. You need to tell her you want help first. So, do you want her help? She's not gonna.
Yeah, hey Nebula, help us out.
Yeah, like I feel like Nebula's gonna be the most helpful given her size.
Honestly, apparently.
Steeljaw too.
You want me to throw Crazy Joe and the Pegasus in there?
Why not? Just everyone help out.
Yeah, he
So,
said
it's a
everyone, so we want
party effort.
everyone.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yo, I'm making sure everyone feels involved. You know, we have a really nice, what's it called? Family atmosphere here.
So, Steeljaw is just like everybody else, struggling.
Damn.
Same with Coppertail. The two of them are on the same side of the door. Crazy Joe is currently actively trying to close a closed door, and Nebula and Emerald happen to be on the same door, and between the two of them, they are able to shift it open, despite Crazy Joe's efforts.
Alright.
Crazy Joe, of course, then pronounces that he has opened the door himself. Nobody helped.
I'd just give him a hoofs up. Like, you know, good job, Crazy Joe.
I don't know what to deal with that, so I guess I just like look at Joe in bewilderment before giving up and going inside.
Yeah, he's the kind of opponent you want to just placate. Just say like, yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
Okay, so we can head inside now.
Yes.
Nice.
You want to,
let's very cautiously go in.
Okay. So when you head inside, well, first off, it's fucking dark in here. But once you guys start getting lights set up, the inside is just as dark and foreboding as the outside. Somehow a little more coherent in its architecture. Only a little bit. See. Like this one. It also has started to just absolutely piss rain outside.
Yeah, it's definitely a good idea if we stay inside then.
How big is this room?
I'd say 20 feet in height and 45 in length and
Okay.
30 in width. There is a pair of staircases leading up and several hallways leading out.
Okay, my claustrophobia probably isn't a problem then. For now. In this room.
For now.
I will also note that door was large enough to very easily accommodate something taller, substantially taller than Nebula, with her being the tallest of the group right now.
Yeah. I think we're in the realm of giants here. Whether or not you take that literally, I'll let them figure it out.
Yeah.
So you guys ready to set up camp?
I mean,
Yeah.
that was the plan.
So need I believe I had been doing it wrong and it's supposed to be a survival roll from somebody to
Okay.
determine how many choices you get.
No, that's how we've been doing it.
Was
Roll
it?
and get choices, or at least how we did it last time.
Ah,
Yeah, because we didn't get to do all three last time because my roll was good, but it wasn't that good. And so, pick stealthy and defendable or
okay.
something like that.
I must have corrected that sooner than I thought. It's been a little
Yeah.
while, so.
That's all good.
So go ahead, do the survival
Oh.
roll.
Would this be plains or woodlands?
Plains. Despite the woodlands that seem to be around it. Okay.
6, made by 7. Let's go.
I don't think that... It didn't say it was a crit success, so...
Yeah,
I mean-
Yeah, it's not
10.
crit.
We're a little far away from crit success.
But,
I'll get there eventually.
that
I
means
mean,
you
I
get
just
to-
got one. Yeah.
Well, yeah, you got triple ones.
Yeah, that was insane.
There's the guaranteed critical success rolls, but I remember there being like a range that
Yeah, I think if you
it's like
beat or
10
fail by
less.
10.
okay,
Yeah.
okay, yeah, then the only way for crit success would be a 3 for Ivory for that. So comfortable, stealthy, or defensible? Choose 2.
I don't think stealth is an option because we're inside, and anyone who would be able to see us would be like right next to us. So that's so let's just go for defensible and comfy.
Yeah, from the outside, we're stealthy. From the inside, it's kind of going to be, oh, there's someone in my doorway, like, no matter what we do. So,
Yeah.
defensible and comfy, I guess.
Okay. If I remember correctly, you get a +2 to the health check if you have taken any damage. So, what order are you guys doing watch?
I am still at negative hit points, so I'd like to ask Nebula to cover for me.
Okay.
Or one of our new guys, I don't know.
Do you trust the new guys enough?
Ivory would not advise letting the new guy.
I don't know.
I'm
Crazy
like,
Joe.
I was about to say, I know where he's going with this. I'm gonna be surprised if he doesn't say it.
Listen, guys, I just think Crazy Joe has a really good eye. Over there, it's like twitching rapidly. Yeah, it's really good, trust me.
Okay, so Nebula will be taking whatever watch the other people do not. I would still, if I'm being entirely honest with you guys, I would still avoid giving the other two watches either, because do you really want to have to worry about whether or not they're actually loyal?
Yeah, also, Crazy Joe doesn't get to be on watch. Ever.
He's trustworthy.
Yeah,
Put Crazy Joe on watch, wake up. Where's Crazy Joe?
oh no.
Why
He's
is everything
gone,
on fire?
Crazy.
I feel like she'd make us all
that
up because the butterfly landed on his
It's like a
nose.
50% chance that Crazy Joe becomes a random encounter.
Ivory will take last watch so he can do the cooking for the new guys, you know, because they came with the promise of food.
I'll take second.
Okay. Then Nebula does first. Okay, apparently we're just gonna have a streak of triple ones.
Yay!
She's so powerful.
The clairvoyance has meant that she saw the entire watch before you guys even got there.
Everything will be fine tonight.
Okay.
Man, she really is living up to the I saw it in a dream.
So, my turn, I guess?
Yes.
Oh. I don't see anything.
So, for Emerald, as you're sitting there during your watch, you notice something seems up with the wall. On closer inspection, it looks like the walls were very heavily defaced. And you spend the rest of the night trying to figure out what it was.
Yeah.
Well, the rest of your watch.
Fair enough.
Ivory,
Yes.
make that perception roll.
Alright.
Can't even blame me too hard. I'm the one who found this place.
Alright. 9.
Okay. So, as you are doing your watch, you also notice the defaced walls. It is very difficult right now to make it out by the flickering firelight and occasional flash of lightning. You also note that the Tantabus has returned, as usual. It seems to just be kind of hovering around the group at this point.
Yeah. Ivory would definitely like to first try and make a connection with the Tantabus.
Okay. If I remember correctly, it was you have to fail a will check.
Yes. Is there a way for me to? I know you can do it in D&D, and obviously I know D&D better. I know you can willingly fail a check in D&D. Can I do that here?
So the reason I'm having you make the check is that it's essentially standing in for like your fanaticism, because somewhere in the back of your mind, you know this is something that is unnatural for like what you consider deities.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're somewhere within that crazy fucked up head of yours. You're like, this is part of a god, I think, but you're not willing to admit it on a conscious level.
So I'm basically fighting with myself.
Essentially, yeah. That's what I'm going with, and why I'm making you do the will checks. That, and it's also entertaining.
No, that's fair. That is also fair.
Watch him get like a critical success.
Yeah, watch this be my only crit success. Watch this. Why am I so willful? for once, making a will check succeeding is a bad thing.
Might I point out, you actually have a really good will save?
Yeah, you have like
I know,
kind of reasonably good.
Yep.
You have a very
His
low chance of
spirit
failing.
Cannot be broken. Yeah, his spirit cannot be broken, and that's the bad thing here.
You're essentially going up there, touching, and going, no, heresy.
Yeah, just going like, damn, this. Not a single word this thing said to me is in the holy text. You know, fuck that.
You reach out to touch it, and you just like, heresy, heresy.
Exterminatus. Wait, wrong franchise. I'm basically a tech priest. Okay. I'm going to build the Pridwin if you give me long enough. Don't worry about it. All right.
Well,
since
I will also say that if there is a way for you to crit, essentially auto crit fail it, and that would be essentially you would have to acknowledge the fact that the god engines are not gods. Which right now your character has no reason to do that.
Yeah, that's a whole ass character arc away. So
yeah.
And, you have to get around... What was it? You've got fanaticism extreme and severe delusions.
Yes. That I'm destined to become a father of a world eater. You know what? I just saw this. These two guys being recruited and our injured healing person that is eventually going to become like a spiritual doctor because me and Doc, I don't know, doing all that. I'm going to form my own split off cult eventually, because like already I have the motivation to, but that'll be in the future. But for now, I'm going to try and read what's on the walls. Since we're not being particularly stealthy and we still have the lights on. Let's see. I'm pretty sure I have a lantern or something. Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Can I, like, put my lantern on, like, low and, like, hold it up to the wall and, like, get real close?
Do you have lantern oil? Because I'm pretty sure that you probably have an oil one. You do?
Yep. Oil lantern, 1 pint. Uses 1 pint of oil per 24 hours. And I'll just be using it for a little bit to look at it. I won't keep it on all night.
Hold on, I want to double check. Because
Check this out.
did I click the right? I did click the right person.
Yeah.
Where
It's in
is-
other equipment. It's in my quick
Oh.
drop bag.
Okay.
Yeah. Or my quick drop harness, where I can just like flick it and everything drops off, so I can go into combat without
Okay.
not
That-
being able to move.
That answers that question. Good job. You thought ahead and remembered that the lantern needs oil.
Yes, sir.
I say that because I
played the long
completely
dark.
forgot to put oil in a lantern. So one of my characters was running around within a lantern with no oil.
Yeah.
So
I've played
Somebody
Amnesia: The Dark
make-
Descent.
I'm still gonna have you roll a perception to try
That's
to get a better look at the defaced walls.
Alrighty.
Dang.
There's the critical success.
There we go.
So it's very difficult to see. But as you're staring at it, you're starting to piece things together. The beast that you were hired to lead is very heavily
Yeah.
featured. He looks very different in these images as you are getting chunks of him on them. But you would imagine this is what he looked like before he started to like essentially burn himself up, which is what he looks like now. Like chunks of his body are just missing, and out is spewing the same flames that make up his mane and his wings. In these pictures, he's got a full solid body, and he looks like a cross between a unicorn and a Pegasus, but really fucking big.
Okay.
He is just everywhere on the walls as well. You do find an inscribed passage of something. The main things that you can collect from it is that the name of the beast is Shadowfire. He is noted to be the Prince of Something, and he is he will protect. And then, rather than being defaced, it looked like whoever was carving this was very promptly interrupted. Mostly because there's still a skeleton sitting underneath it, with a fairly sizable hole in the back of his skull and a smaller one in the front.
Definitely an ambush.
It appears that this one might have been an earth pony, but there is evidence that the body had been augmented at one point. Mainly because there are still a few rusted bolts attached to skeletal parts, and then evidence of damage to the skeleton. Give me just a sec. I'm
I
gonna
love country.
check something, see if you have a skill that would.
It's like anatomy or anything now.
More along the lines of D&D's investigation.
Oh.
I'm not seeing a skill, so I'm gonna say
No. Scrounging.
intelligence -2. Because
Good
-2 just
thing
seems to be a good way to
Hybri's
default.
Highest is intelligence. Yep. Hybri's a pretty smart guy, and he made it.
So, this appears to have been a place of worship at one point,
Heretical.
and let me look at. I want you to roll me Let's go with will -5.
Will -5.
Yeah, -3 for
Okay.
delusional and a -2 for fanaticism.
So basically, DC 10 check.
Yep. Fuck.
So
Fail.
you know this was a place of worship,
Yeah.
but your own delusions and fanaticism will not let you acknowledge that the thing that you led to the prison was in fact a deity.
It was merely a false god worshipped by a bunch of charlatans. How pitiful.
Hold on.
I'll write down my notes.
So Nebula actually walks up to you at this point,
Oh,
and
okay. Oh, she's up?
yep, it's getting to
Okay.
a later into your watch at this point, and she's normally an early riser. She just doesn't normally do much.
Oh, okay.
But she walks over, and her eyes are actually glowing at the moment, and looks at you
Oh.
and tells you it takes a god to make a god. And
Okay.
doesn't seem to have much else to share with you at the moment. She did hear you muttering about heresy, though. That was
Yeah.
pretty obvious.
Yeah.
Can you gather what she meant by that?
I mean, I can, but I wasn't there.
I'm going to leave that up to a will roll on whether or not Ivory takes that as either he needs to be a god in order to construct it and therefore be a father, or more in the literal sense, you know, sacrificing a god to create it. So I'll leave that up to a will roll.
Are you going to go with the same penalty? Or are you going... Okay. Let's see how you do.
Same penalty. Yep. He understands what she means.
Yep.
That is a 6 made by 4.
So,
So Lang writes it down.
did you guys deal with the data pad yet?
I don't. Hold on, let me double check.
I could try if you want.
Oh, I gotta scroll back up. Ivory has like hacking and everything, so he'll probably have the best chance to get in.
Well, if I remember correctly,
where is
somebody
that?
needed to repair it. And I don't know who had the...
Yeah. It
Somebody-
needed batteries, right?
Yeah.
Oh, right, yeah, it was batteries.
Yeah.
Nobody had AA batteries on them.
Yeah, and you wanted to see if you could use Gizmo to have a battery, and it was like a no.
Yeah.
It was too... to the point.
Yeah, I'm more a mechanical artificer sort of thing.
If you needed like a screwdriver
Man,
or
where
something
did
like
I
that,
write that?
Gizmo would have
Oh, there
applied
it
to
is.
that, but not to essentially specifically a lithium style like tablet battery.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Alright. Ivory will just kind of like at first just like he's kind of surprised that she's up, and he'll just kind of like look at her for a moment with kind of like that strange like that's kinda, and that's kind of heretical face, but then he'll like slowly morph as like, you know, he passes the will check and kind of like realizes, and it's just like, maybe. Like she can see his thought process in his face, you know, very expressive.
Nebula kind of regards you for a minute and then sits down and looks at one of the pictures, one of the more complete pictures of Shadowfire nearby. And she kind of squints at it and it's like, I feel like I know him.
Well, I definitely do. Or, well, I witnessed him in a more later form.
She looks at you
He'll
and
look back.
asks, have you ever seen someone and then felt like you'd seen them before, as if you'd met them before, but you could never actually say that you had? I believe you ponies have a word for it. Deja vu?
Yes, a feeling of deja vu that you've experienced or that you've seen something before, but you can't really find out where, if you even have. Yes, I have. Many times.
She looks back at the picture, and this is the first time you've really seen her show more emotion than either fear for her life or just a kind of almost apathy. And she looks both frustrated and confused. Roll a quick intelligence check.
Alrighty. Got that fat 13 intelligence. Let's go. That's made by 6.
So, as strange as it sounds, Crazy Joe makes you think of something about Crazy Joe. Crazy Joe is a very well-known amnesiac. He has no clue where he was from, who he is. Everybody just calls him Crazy Joe because it rolls off the tongue. But this seems like similar symptoms without the added possibility of Crazy Joe's being a psycho.
He doesn't quite want to imply that she's like Crazy Joe, who she does not know anything about. Like, she wouldn't know that he's a well-known amnesiac, so he'll just kind of like keep that mark to himself. But he'll say, you know, your situation right now does bring that familiar feeling back.
She looked at you with the raised eyebrow.
Like I had known someone in a similar position, where it may be more that they've forgotten than simply a feeling in the wind. And he'll like, he's looking at the wall. He'll eyes will like move to like look at her, but he's not moving his head. So like facing forward, but looking over at her.
Doc. When Nebula looks at you again and says, when I met Doc, that was the first thing I remember. Him and his group, I followed them up until a point where something told me not to go. And by the sounds of Doc's stories, it was well deserved.
Mm-hmm.
She looks back at the picture of Shadowfire and says, I can't help but feel that I've lost something, though. Not him, but a home.
I've also recently felt like I've lost a home. Though, in a different way. But maybe your answers will be found once we reach the FPC. And he nods at the inscription of like Shadowfire. And it's like, we'll be able to meet him soon enough.
She doesn't answer and just kind of continues staring wistfully. You can tell she's not really looking at the picture anymore. It's that 1,000-yard stare of somebody trying to, like, remember something. Normally, at this point, it's a pretty good idea to let them alone with their thoughts.
Yeah. He'll go ahead and leave her and start working on breakfast for everyone.
Make a cooking roll. So, mechanically, how this is going to work is if you get 3 failures, that's when they start thinking about leaving. And it'll be checks on my end to see whether or not they just up and leave you.
Okay.
So, like, right now, your meal is not great. It's passable at best.
Mm-hmm.
As of right now, though, they could have been getting better food if they had stayed at the camp.
Yeah.
I will say crit successes will set you back to... So right now, you're at 1. If you were to crit success the next one, it would set you back to 0. If that makes sense.
Yeah. It's a refresh.
Exactly.
Well, at least with his housekeeping, he keeps a pretty clean camp. So
It's kind of
it's not
funny
the best
that
food, but it's definitely better than traveling through the wasteland.
It's still kind of funny to me that you have that.
Yeah.
But everybody is awake now. If you need to make health checks, then do so.
I really would like to give a morning sermon for the followers.
This time you get to roll propaganda for that. Yeah.
Hell.
Are you targeting the 3 that you brought, or are you targeting everybody?
Everyone is allowed to listen in. This is mainly targeting the 3, though. But it can be general, too. That's kind of pointed.
So, for the other 2, you're a little less familiar, Nez, with them, but you do know that they are all just batshit insane because they worship the things that can literally stomp out their entire city by just walking through it. Especially the likes of Plague King. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and say you've seen the devastation that Plague King can wreak on a place without even having to do anything. It spews out such a toxic cocktail of diseases and poisons that ponies will start melting in their place. So, yeah, he worships things like that. Ice, you're going to be more familiar with them in that their insanity can also verge on being essentially just psychos with religion.
Mm-hmm.
To the point where there was one point where your tribe was at war with them for 3 generations. and then both sides forgot what they were fighting about, and the cult went off after one of the god engines and just completely forgot about your tribe.
Yeah,
No hard feelings.
Psycho Raiders, but with religion.
Pretty much.
Yeah. He gives a pretty inspiring sermon, though, from that success.
Yep, you keep the three that are enraptured by your speeches firmly within the flock. Not that that was going to be difficult.
Yeah. His speeches will have small undertones the entire time of, like, you know, going against the FPC. He's never going to say it outright because this is propaganda and subliminal messaging and all that jazz.
Mm-hmm.
But for now, it's chill enough where he's not trying to push his luck. He's just starting with a normal sermon.
Yeah. He's like preparing them for
Mm-hmm.
information later.
Mm-hmm.
So, I was actually going to ask you if you were going to do that, so good job keeping up
Not
with that.
this one. Yeah, not this one. This is a normal sermon. But any following sermons, there are going to be like undertones and pushes towards.
You will
know,
have
the
to
FPC is not what you've been told.
when you start pushing that narrative, you will have to tell me exactly what you think you're going to say in regards to the narrative in particular. I don't really not concerned with the
Yeah.
rest of the sermon, but I need to know what you're telling them because I need to be able to, because there is a point where propaganda is like somebody's gonna wait, hold on,
Yeah.
if you push too hard too fast.
Oh, I know. I grew up in the church. I know how to do this shit.
I do gotta ask which one.
Standard, normal, fluffy sermon. Oh, grew up Baptist Pentecostal, still are, or still is. Yeah. So,
Yeah, so you're used
we
to
went
propaganda.
to both kinds of church. I
Don't
still
worry,
am,
I am.
but I recognize.
I am also Christian, so I can say that.
Hell yeah. Don't worry, I know the Westboro very well, even though I'm not from that region. And I have not personally interacted with them, thankfully.
Well, considering I'm the type of person they would want to crucify, yeah, I'm also never interacted
Same.
with them.
Yeah.
Are you ex-military?
No, I've dated men.
Ah, that one.
Yeah.
I just know they're infamous for trying to harass veterans.
Yes.
The other one, I guess, is kind of a given. Because of how radical
they're
they are.
particular on it. Yeah.
Anyways. Are you guys going to do the explore now?
I don't see why not.
Yep. Sure.
Okay.
I'll have my gun out. Be fairly far back.
So, there's the vast majority of this place. There's several, like, how many of you have studied the actual medieval history and know about the monasteries and whatnot?
Yes, sir.
I have to ask the question because I know it's not taught in schools anymore.
I have it. And,
Actually, it was.
probably explain it for the viewers anyways.
So,
Yep.
there are rooms that are, I believe the term that they used for them were just, they called them cells. But not in the term of prison cells. these are just barren rooms where there is a place to sleep, there is a place to study, and that is it. There are lots of these here. This is the idea behind them. Is it's the monk or priest is studying and living in these rooms to keep them from being distracted by material things.
Very minimalist.
Yes.
Yes.
There's
What's the specific word for that is?
Yeah, it's
Like the way they live.
I forget it as well. It's more of a Catholic thing.
Yeah.
But it is very much like this was not a small temple, because at this point it has become fairly obvious that it is meant to be a temple. In the center there is a massive garden. It actually looks like it could have at one point been quite beautiful and well tended. Now it has grown to the point where it has choked out the vast majority of the area. It's almost impassable. It's actually some of the best greenery you guys have seen in a few years now. That isn't just like random trees or random forests. You also notice that despite the defacing of a lot of the wall carvings and paintings that were here, this building has held up surprisingly well. As you guys are finish exploring the bottom floor, you do find a few ancient scriptures. Does anybody have the ability to like repair books? I feel like Ivory would probably be the only one. Ivory or Emerald would be the only ones that might have something that could do it.
If they're made out of iron.
No, they're not. I'm not saying
doesn't have any book repair, but he does have research and writing and teaching.
No, I'm not saying. Let me check Emerald.
No, I don't.
I couldn't remember what all we gave you, so
Yeah.
yes. These
He
these
has
books
no,
are
like,
beyond.
papercraft.
These books are beyond your ability to repair. You are welcome to bring them with you if you want, but you not only run the chance that you damage them further, but there's also a high possibility that the only people that you could get to help you with repairing them live all the way up in Philadelphia. It is hard to say that. Which, by the way, fiction is up here.
That's deep in
That is
deep in
the seat
territory.
of the
Alright.
power for the new equestrian monarchy.
I can take us there at least.
I would be shot on sight,
Yeah.
and so would my
The funny thing
followers.
The funny thing is that if it was just Rapid Shatter, Doc, and Emerald, they would be tolerated. But the fact that you are very obviously a machine god cultist is, you're shoot on sight. They just consider you psychos.
Yeah.
Not to mention the fact that we've also got Iron Jaw, Copper Tail, and Crazy Joe here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Crazy Joe would likely fire at them before we could talk to them. Like
with Crazy Joe,
it's
a crapshoot whether he'll shoot you or shoot them.
Yeah.
Even if Ivory could like silver tongue his way through like not getting instantaneously like capped, Crazy Joe would like set up a mortar base by the time we look back and just start like shelling it and just be like, where the hell did you get that?
I robbed the peanut butter.
It was the prize in the bottom of this Cheerio box.
Is it just gonna be a canon thing that he has no clue what Cheerios are, but like he is fucking obsessed with them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why not?
I'm all for it. I'm all fucking for it. Anyways, you guys then head upstairs to check out the second floor, and the first thing that you guys get to is a absolutely gargantuan room with a shattered window that looked like it might have been stained glass at one point. The walls are just covered in graffiti talking about the FPC and how great that Steel Brand is, and down with the alicorns, down with the unicorns, down with the equestrian monarchy, just absolutely slandering everything here. Why they didn't do it in the rest of it is not immediately apparent. There is a large door set in the back of the room, though. Do you want to go through there?
Cautiously look into it before we fully walk in.
So, the door is a single door, but it is set in such a size that it makes Nebula look kind of short. And for reference, Nebula is roughly the size of what Celestia would have been.
Yeah.
And it opens into a larger room with 3 doors, each of them branching off to different sides of the room. And in the center of the room is a large statue. You recognize the first figure, but there are 2 other figures as well that you don't recognize. This statue has a slight shimmer to it, and you can tell by the scorch marks all around it that they tried their damnedest to destroy this thing. There's large chunks of the floor that have been taken out. There's scorch marks all along the walls and floor. They used some pretty hefty ordnance to try and remove this thing. And it's still mainly untouched. As Emerald starts to enter the room, it is starting to flicker, though.
Get up.
Get out.
Okay. I back up. I feel like I would know vaguely how far away I need to stand from magic stuff. So I stand like an extra couple feet from that.
Not because it's flickering and, you know, obviously tried to destroy it, and it's absolutely basically untouched. Something's fucky with this. I don't trust it.
So just to clarify, it's the statue was glowing a bit, just a little bit, kind of shimmery. And
that was flickering off when I got close?
Yes. The statue stayed as it was.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Anti-magic field.
So, I'm not even going to require a check, but it appears to be some sort of magical shield to essentially protect the statue.
That's what I thought it was. You also mentioned that one of the 3 figures in the statue was familiar?
Or mainly Ivory. But
is it Shadowfire?
The primary figure that is towering over the other 2 is Shadowfire. It is a likeness of Shadowfire. This is the most complete likeness that you have seen of him, which he is. This is to scale for him. So if the version that you had dealt with, bringing it to the prison, was standing next to it, they would be the same size.
Okay.
There's also 2 other ponies. One of them is a fairly nondescript Pegasus, and the other is just the strangest looking unicorn that... can I get a quick intelligence check from everybody?
Okay.
No modifiers.
IQ, go!
Big brain.
13
Yay.
intelligence, let's go! Yay.
So, Rapid and Emerald, you guys have not really... The Canterlot Barrier has never been a safe place to be standing next to. Especially in recent memory, where it was at one point for a week straight bombarded by Forge Hammer and Steel Rain. Which Forge Hammer is the one that is essentially built to be one giant gun. It is a gargantuan rail cannon, and Steel Rain is essentially built to be shaped like a pony, but it's got rows of massive mortars on its back. It essentially lobs artillery as well. And they normally travel together because Steel Rain can protect Forge Cannon when Forge Cannon is firing. And if they are not actively protecting one another, then they will both target things, and that is the only time in the history that you guys know that the Canterlot Barrier changed shape. So, you two have stayed away from it for a long while. However, Ivory recently was there and actually recognizes that you guys were a little more concerned with, the carnage from the massacre that occurred on the Kazites, which you are carrying the last of around with you. But, this is the Guardian who keeps that barrier up.
Oh, it's the Barrier Guardian.
The Guardian, even your people have to acknowledge that is, in this day and age, is the single most impressive magical feat that has, to your knowledge, been accomplished. Which, your knowledge of magical feats pretty much starts and ends at the Canterlot Barrier.
Yeah.
You know there was magic used to create the monsters that are the spell spawn, and some of the radiation is magical in nature. Some of the there's rumors that they're unexploded mega spells, things like that. But that barrier has withstood the might and fury of some of your more dangerous gods. There's even rumors that at one point the plague-bearing Plague King had walked through that area and nothing got through. There was reports from one of your people who died promptly after that he had seen that and had seen it wash against the barrier but not be able to get through it. Because there is a noxious cloud that is visible because of the toxins that he spews. But the barrier, to your knowledge, is literally impenetrable. Nothing can get through it. And even as a hater of magic, it is something to behold. It's one of those begrudging, I hate it, but it is impressive.
Hate it, but can't deny it.
Yeah. Not to mention the fact that as the caster of that barrier, he is still technically alive.
Yeah.
Not that anybody would call that really living. I will also say that the most terrifying thing for the entirety of the waste is finding out that the barrier could return fire eventually.
Yeah.
And none of you have the magical know-how to find out why that was a thing, so... You just know that
It
if...
just is.
You just know that if the barrier gets bullied, it can shoot you back. Anywho, that is the information that I have for you for that.
Oh yeah.
Nebula is also with you guys and currently scrutinizing the statue.
Mm-hmm.
She does turn to Emerald as the barrier starts to flicker and politely asks him to let it stay up.
Yeah, okay. I keep my distance from the statue.
It seems that if you stay on the outskirts of the room, that it's enough that it still flickers, but it doesn't die.
Got it.
You do note that for Ivory, as you are standing a bit closer to it, you do note that it looks like some of the efforts were more recent than others. Mainly, there is evidence that one of them probably happened a day or two ago.
Ooh.
So-
I relay that we may have company.
Would you guys like to explore the rooms?
I will.
Yes, but carefully.
Alright. Off we go.
So, the first room you guys go into is surprisingly... It looks like you stepped into a piece of history, almost. And it is kind of thrown around a bit, as if somebody was looking for something here. The only thing that really seems remarkable, though, is a very ornate-looking metal rod leaning against the wall in the far corner of the room. It appears to be made of some sort of silvery metal with copper inlaid all throughout it. Very specifically copper, actually.
Can Ivory make an intelligence check to see, like, if he can figure out any, like, meaning behind it?
Sure. Are you going to make the check?
Oh, sorry.
Asks me to make a
Thing.
check, I say yes, and it
It's
doesn't
been-
make the check.
My browser's been lagging. It's intelligence, yeah.
That's what you wanted to make the check, yeah?
Alrighty. Yes.
It is
Success made by 2.
It is about a quarterstaff-sized metal rod.
Okay.
You have the strange suspicion that it might be... They may have used copper to conduct electricity, but you're not entirely sure why. It seems like an odd choice.
Okay.
Theoretically, this thing would be a walking lightning rod meant to direct electricity? But again, who would want to do that?
Unicorns. Can I take a look at it?
Sure.
There you go.
Oh,
Not bad. Is there a particular bit of information you're trying to glean from it?
I guess I was just expecting I might have a different perspective.
Well, I will tell you, it does not appear to be the same as a spell focus. Because most of the time, spell foci are used to, like, channel magic, which requires certain types of wood. even if the ones that use those spell foci still can't cast magic. Or at least not proficiently. And to your knowledge, not around you.
Yeah. But at least have intimate knowledge of what it's made of, at least. Yeah.
The metal, like you can both of you can identify the copper, but the metal itself it doesn't quite fit the description of any metal you can think of.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Wonder if we could power the data pad with this.
It does not appear to be giving off its own, like, you guys can touch it. It doesn't appear to be giving off its own electricity in any way.
Yeah, I don't think this thing has a USB port on the side.
Not yet.
Not with
I'll
that.
figure out a way to run Doom on it.
So, are you gonna leave it there?
You think this thing is valuable?
We can take it with us just in case we might need it.
Why not? I'll pick this thing up, I guess.
Roll a strength -5.
Oh boy, that is ow.
Tungsten.
Okay, here you go.
So you try to move this thing, and it topples over and hits the ground with enough force to split several tiles. And these are like granite tiles. Steeljaw takes one look at it and goes, "I'm not touching that."
Yeah, there might be more trouble than it's
Thinking
worth.
of business. Hold that, yikes.
So I am going to, because the guess was made, yes, it has a tungsten core, but it is wrapped in another type of metal with copper inlay.
Okay.
It's also magically enchanted on top of all of that.
I wouldn't be able to tell that at a close glance. But yeah. I want this thing more now, but I don't think we're gonna be able to take it.
Can I try to... I mean, Ivory's not that strong. I'm going to say, can I try to help lift it, but me and Emerald have the same strength.
Yeah.
Because... Yeah, just like what Emerald said, now Ivory kind of wants it more. You know, it's mysterious, and like with copper, has a very heavy center, apparently. I think for now we leave it and we keep, like, you know, eyeing around, because
I will point
this
out,
is definitely something that will slow us down.
I will point out that up until this point, it has been left alone, and it's obvious that people have been through this room several times. So, you know.
They probably couldn't lift
No
it
one
either.
wants to touch it. They saw that thing and was like, no.
You know, my first impression was that they left it here. Not that they ignored it, but they left it here.
Yeah. But now I can definitely see why.
Yeah.
So,
Alright.
ready for the next room?
Yeah.
So, you guys enter the next room, and this one is very obviously meant for Shadowfire because everything is big. The tables are taller, the chairs are bigger, there's a massive bed that is essentially just a hole in the ground with pillows, and everything is oddly well preserved. This is the point that everybody turns around and looks at Nez.
I'm just like looking around at all the eyes and like, what?
So, this room is also very much undisturbed from what you can tell. It's almost like something was preventing entry.
Yeah.
As you
Welcome.
As you guys start to picking through what's in the room, you notice that there's some very well-preserved pictures of individuals. You get a color picture of the 3 statues, except it's the actual ponies that they were based off of. The Guardian still looks like what they look like if you go and go look at them right now, for the most part. However, the Pegasus's colors are now revealed to you, being a kind of seafoam green and burnt orange, and they seem to be enjoying their time together. There's also a picture of Shadowfire and the alicorn that you saw the FPC holding hostage, that seemed to be the focus of Shadowfire's wrath. Like the fact that they had her.
Yeah.
And the two are looking fondly at each other in the picture. There is also what appears to be a journal sitting on top of a bookshelf, like the very top of the shelf. Does anybody here have wings?
I do.
So you're the only one that can reach that right now.
Wingman journal.
So are you going to pick up the journal?
Yeah, I'll bring it down.
So again, it was made to Shadowfire's size, so it's a fairly sizable tome. The handwriting is quite neat, surprisingly. Parts of it are written in varying languages, but the final entry is that it's detailing that he will be moving to excuse me. He will be moving from his temple to Canterlot due to the disappearance of Lena and the fact that the FPC are starting to pressure him to get out of their territory, and he's just not in the mood for war. He goes on to say something about just wanting a peaceful place to take a nap. And says that Luna has offered him a place in her temple for the time being. I do not know why my throat keeps getting all crappy, but he says that hopefully Twilight and Celestia can figure things out soon, and that he and Gaster can find Lena wherever she's gone. You do kind of pick up like a bit of worry there, almost as if he's not entirely sure what happened to her. But
can you reread Ren stuff down? I missed the first name. It was Lena, right?
Lena, Leyna.
Lena. Okay, Leyna. All right.
There are other entries written in here, but they vary in language. Sometimes they're Ponish, sometimes they're something that looks like Ponish but really old, and then there are others that are just completely like alien in their calligraphy. There is one page that is written in such a way that it makes no sense whatsoever. Some of it spirals, other points it just defies anything you know about written literature.
Listen, I can read. I can't read that.
I will say that you can bring these books with you. They will start aging normally, and will take any kind of damage from water and stuff like that, especially around Nez. Because the preservation and the spells that were keeping people out are no longer in effect when he's around.
Yeah.
I will say he cannot permanently kill these spells, but he will essentially turn them off when he is around.
Yeah.
Because they're not as powerful as, say, the Canterlot Barrier.
Yeah. Any enchantment is disabled until I leave.
Pretty much. And if you take the book out of the enchanted area, it will be affected by time as usual. Not all at once kind of deal, but like when you take it out, it will wear and tear just like any other book. So it is up to you whether you leave it here or take it with you.
Ivor gets an idea of basically using this place as a sort of library and reliquary, but then the only key would be Emerald.
Yeah.
Because of the magical defenses.
Yeah, I could personally use this as like a closet where I can just hide things and no one will be able to take, but like, I'm not sure if I'm gonna be coming back here.
Yeah. Well, we could take it and risk damaging them and having them fade and be lost with time. Or we can have this be kind of like a regional base for us, because we know where it is, it's secure.
And for some reason, people seem to discount its existence.
Yeah, you know, people don't really think it exists. And just, it's hard to see in the first place. It looks, like from far away, it looks like part of the mountain, so.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically ours now, because I don't, like, even if we left it to be preserved, I'm not sure anyone else would be able to even enter this room.
Yeah. Unless they are on the very rare chance that they either have someone akin to Emerald, or they have like a dispel magic thing, which
the FBC does not have access to.
Kinda strong. Yeah.
Listen.
Say whoever, whether or not they're FBC, yeah.
Listen,
Seems like you'd need very specialized stuff to get in here.
What were you saying, Niz?
Listen, like, whatever I have, I've lived all my life with this, and I have never met anyone else like me. So, yeah. I don't think that's gonna happen.
Alright, well. You have a regional home, I guess.
Yay.
And Emerald is the key, so let's not let them die.
I'm gonna try something. I'm gonna back up into the, like, furthest corner of the room. Is the door, like, locked behind us? Are we, like, stuck in here?
In
like,
that
room?
room?
Far enough away?
Are you in the same room?
I mean, am I not?
I'm asking if you're staying in Shadowfire's room to do this.
Oh, I'm going into, like, the back corner, as far away from the door as I can. Like, does the door, like, magically seal when I get far enough away?
No.
No?
Nope.
Okay.
Would you like to step out of the door, though?
Oh. That could seal us in.
I just wanted to check if we could, like, seal ourselves in here for safety. But, like, if that's not an option, then... Oh well.
You
This
might
is
want
not a
to-
nice place to put things.
You might want to try stepping out while they're inside.
I don't see the point in locking them inside if I have to be outside.
You're assuming that it's locking things.
Fair enough.
Might also just kill us.
I don't really see the point in testing it, so I don't. Someone else suggests I do it, then I guess I'll try. I just wanted to see if I could basically use the locked door to barricade us in here. Because that basically like a safe room or a panic room. I don't know.
I mean, having a basic understanding of the area that you were choosing as a regional base is a pretty decent reason to try and test things.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alright, well, yeah, I get... If everyone wants to leave, Ivory will take the leap of faith of potentially being locked in the room and possibly dying. Just because he is a little bit morbidly curious.
Alright, if you say so, I step away from the door from the outside.
So, the moment that Nez passes through the door frame, everything in the room vanishes, including the book that I'm assuming Ivory is still holding. And not only does it appear to vanish, but it also, you don't feel like you're holding something anymore.
He will yell through the door, "It's all gone!"
Is there still a floor, or is he floating? Or
No,
falling?
it looks like a barren room. Like, it looks like they stripped it of anything worthwhile, including the pillows.
He'll relay what he sees.
Well,
Okay.
the others can see it from outside, since you guys are all inspecting at this point.
Oh, okay.
They don't see anything either until Nez decides to step back
like
inside.
the door shut, it's just everything's gone. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But by all appearances, there is nothing in this
there's
room.
like an invisible.
Okay. I'll just grab like a random pillar or something and take it with me out of the room. You coming? I don't know. I'm gonna like leave the room and see if the pillow, like put the pillow down on the floor and step away from it and see if anything happens to it. Or like, is it the room or is it the items in the room?
There is a pillow on the floor outside the door. The room is empty.
Okay, so it's the room.
Okay. Okay,
The
so
room has like invisibility on it.
no. You would be able to feel invisible things. The stuff just stops existing.
True.
I guess I put the pillow back in the bed hole, and hey, why don't we go take that like big metal rod and put it in this room so nobody else can take it?
It is a rod. We can roll it
Yeah, and we could probably work
very
together.
slowly.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
So I'm gonna have everybody roll strength.
Oh god, it's that heavy. I'm not helping today, sorry.
Ivory succeeded.
Crazy Joe has decided to push in the opposite direction.
No, Crazy Joe.
Your Steeljaw is he's helping, but he is struggling.
I try and lift it with my mouth, but then bite my tongue and stop.
Coppertail tries to lift or push or something, and ends up on his back instead. And Nebula is very helpful. Apparently, Nebula is just strong.
Big Kieran is strong. Makes sense.
I just got an idea on how we can make moving this like infinitesimally easier. Leverage. Just like, yeah, like you said, it landed on the tiles and it broke some of it. We can now try and use the tile like beneath it, or like put something under it since it's a rod, it's cylindrical. We can kind of put something on the edge and try and lift from that end, and that would be so much easier.
I will say that you guys are
Just
able,
basic leverage.
between the leverage and despite Crazy Joe's best efforts, you are able to get it into Shadowfire's room, and when you guys leave, it disappears along with everything else.
Okay.
Well, it's safe.
Yeah.
So, the final door, I will note, is covered with arcane symbols, by the way. And only 3 of them out of the dozens have been burnt out. And, Nez, when you get close, you start to get very uncomfortable.
Oh.
This
I don't-
seems like it's gotten a lot more dangerous.
Yeah.
Can
I don't like
anyone
these.
read the runes.
I'll try.
Roll intelligence -4.
I was thinking, like, in previous sessions that I wanted to give myself, like, knowledge arcana or something, but, like, it's really hurting me now that I don't.
Yeah, so, you kind of failed the rune scribing class because every time somebody tried to scribe something, it wouldn't work, so you assumed everybody was just doing it wrong up until the point that you realized what was going on later in your life. But then it was too late.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there was also a very high chance that they were still just doing it wrong, because normally rune scribing class involved a lot more explosions from everything you had been told.
Y'all are
I-
getting formal educations?
I mean, I flunked out of magic kindergarten.
So, there's a high possibility that, given who was probably in that room, that they have taken precautions that anti-magic fields, like what follows Nez around, will just cause it to explode. And I'm not even going to require an intelligence check, because, he's literally keeping a barrier that has been up for hundreds of years at this point, going, that has stopped literal just plague fogs. So,
Can Ivory attempt to read them just because he wants to?
roll the same thing that I had Nez roll on IQ -4.
-4. Alright.
Because obviously you don't have a background in that.
Damn. That almost succeeded.
So,
If not for them.
The six rolled over, yeah, if it wasn't for that.
So you look at it and you think you see something that you understand. And as you look closely, it starts to make a little bit of sense, and then you realize it says these are explosive runes. Roll a dodge.
Oh. Okay, what is my current weight so I know what actually to do it? I'm going to assume I've left my stuff at where we can, all my shit. Since
Well, you guys, I'm
going in cautiously.
I was assuming that you were traveling light because your camp is literally in the front door.
Yeah.
So whatever your best one is, we'll go with that one.
Well, since we're going around cautiously, he's definitely gonna have all of his armor on. So that means he's carrying 100 pounds. So he's currently heavy. Let's dodge. You did not succeed, because that's a 5.
Hooray!
Okay.
He's heavily armored. That doesn't mean he's mobile.
Let me check something. Why is your DR so weird looking? Why is it fractions?
Oh, because some is crushing. Like the number on the right is crushing. The number on the left is general. Is everything else? Because I have like chainmail and stuff.
So you end up taking 4 points of damage after DR.
Okay. 4 points after DR.
Yep. The door
So
then
that would be
throws you, like the explosion throws you across the room.
You'll just see Ivory like swing close and goes, "Oh fuck!"
Nebula
Step out of the way, I'm
Just
just playing court body.
Nebula is kind of standing off to one side, trying really hard to stifle a laugh. And Crazy Joe looks at you and asks, "Did you find the Cheerios?"
He will let out like a wide groan through his male coif and just goes, "There were not any Cheerios, sadly."
I can probably sympathize with this plight of random explosions, so I help Ivory back to his host.
Yeah, he will begrudgingly get up because after that he's just kind of like winded, just like, I just got blown up. Shit, I don't get blown up that often.
Are the runes still there?
The ones that blew up are now burnt out. So now there are 4 out of dozens.
Are they all the same runes or are they different?
All of them are different.
Oh fuck. Okay.
There is,
So-
in fact, there's even a magical circle that's specifically around the door handle.
Well, Ivory's not going to attempt to touch the door again, just in case he gets, killed. Because that hurt.
Yeah.
Is this the point that I should mention that Gaster was incredibly paranoid?
Fair enough.
Average Ivory moment.
So you got one room that makes things disappear, one just normal room, and one that is the equivalent of an Archmage's vault.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing is getting in there.
Or out, for that matter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's a predicament and a half, isn't it?
Yeah. It burnt out the rune. So, like, if we really wanted to go in there, we could just throw bodies at it until they're all burnt out. But that doesn't sound like a good idea.
Steeljaw and Coppertail both look at each other and then look at you guys and say, "I'm not doing that." Simultaneously.
Yeah.
I wasn't gonna ask you to.
Brings up, what if we instead just like throw something like a piece of that blown tile
As you're saying that,
As
Crazy
we
Joe
stand
yells
very
for
far
Cheerios as he hurls himself bodily at the door and gets flung
Oh,
across the room with a massive explosion. This time it burns out 2 runes. But he raises a hoof and says, "I'm okay."
He's okay. But that did burn out more runes than last time. Was that a bigger explosion than last time?
It was a much larger explosion. There was also
so they get
some
more
electricity
intense.
as well.
Okay. Interesting.
Well, we made some progress on the door. Maybe we
If
can try
somebody
again next
has-
time.
If somebody has first aid or something like that, it would be worth checking Crazy Joe, because Crazy Joe is crazy.
Yeah, I've got that.
Yeah,
I've got first aid. I can go
Yeah.
do that.
alright. Ivory will just check on him just as the flock leader. He also
So-
has like a first aid kit just in case.
First aid kit, but I just looked, you don't seem to have a skill to use it.
I don't, but I can carry it for other people or something. I have sewing. I can what's it called? Suture wounds.
Set up.
I can close them up.
I'm
Oh,
good at
yeah.
this.
Oh, damn.
Okay, so
Damn, he is good.
he is very far from okay, and I believe that actually does give him some healing.
Alright.
I know you stabilize, but and this is for Crazy Joe, by the way. I know you stabilized, but I don't remember. What? Give me the reference number for first aid, please. It should be on the character sheet still.
195.
I want to double check on. I'm like pretty sure that it gives you like 2 or 3 hit points if you pass for the first aid. Okay. This is the ability to patch up an injury in the field, make skill roll to halt bleeding, suck out poison, give artificial respiration to a drowning victim, etc. Identify diagnosis skill. Unusual problems must be identified with using diagnosis skill first. Oh no, you just stabilize them.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Which
I can't
default?
remember. Does my medkit have charges, or is it just a medkit?
Let's hope it's in the basic set campaigns, because I'm not entirely certain.
I'll just track in my head that I've used it once so far.
Yeah, because otherwise this is gonna take too long to flip through.
Yeah, I'll do that like after the session. Anyways,
Let me know if you
Yeah.
find what you find out for it.
yeah.
Crazy Joe is alive though, and conscious, and not actively dying, like he was before Nez did something about it.
Well, that's good to know.
So yeah, Crazy Joe was not okay.
Well,
So- What do?
I feel like we're done with that for now. But was there any other places we could go? Because I feel like that was it. Oh wait, there was stairs or something. I don't. This is a big place. I forget. There's a lot.
You are upstairs right now. You are in the upstairs area.
Oh, okay.
For the most part, everything else has either decayed or been taken that
Okay.
you could find. You can attempt to use search and or scrounging at -2 to see if you can find like secret areas maybe. But other than that, there's
I
not
get to
really
use
a lot.
scrounging. Just made it.
Okay. So, as you are looking through the bottom area, you practically trip over a smaller statue of a draconic creature that, when you do that, it opens up a very small door. You wouldn't have noticed it because the craftsmanship is pretty much flawless. And
Okay.
it's as it slides into itself and reveals a small passageway. Very small. You're
Super
going to have to
tall.
crawl. Nebula will not fit.
Okay.
What do
Yeah, I will crawl through.
you tell the rest of your group, or are you just crawling through alone?
Yeah, he'll let them know what he's planning.
So this is downstairs for reference. This is actually near the garden.
Okay. Yeah, he'll alert everyone, be like, hey, I found something, I'm gonna check it out.
Does anybody want to follow him?
I feel like I could be useful, so I'm gonna also follow.
Absolutely not.
Alright.
I-
Yeah, Mr.
Not even a will check, just no.
Yeah. Nope.
Okay.
He's like, I already know what's gonna happen.
So you guys start crawling through the tunnel, and it is a fairly lengthy tunnel, several twists, turns, and then eventually it starts heading down. And you make it to a very large room with a smaller structure inside of it. And when I say large, you've gone down far enough that this thing is almost 100 feet up and 200 feet around, because it's a circular room. So, like, circumference is 200 feet. And the smaller structure is it appears to be about half of that size. And the very first thing that you notice when you look at that structure with your lantern is that it has Shadowfire's cutie mark all over it in big, bold emblazoning. But two, the door has what appears to be some sort of magical inscription. It is slightly ajar, and everything about this area seems incredibly stale. The taste of the air, just the lack of air movement in general. It's almost as if there was an air current, but somebody just told it to stop, and it did. And it has not moved since.
Okay.
Yeah. The thing about stale air is, don't. So I guess we should probably make this quick.
Yeah.
I will note.
It's a sign that you could die.
I will note that up until you entered this room, the air seemed fairly normal for long tunnel.
Okay.
Here it's just oppressively stale, though.
Okay.
What do you...
You said there's like a magical door.
Also, Nez, you notice that it's stale, but it does not feel as intense for you as it does for him. And yes, there is a door with a magical inscription. The door is slightly ajar.
Can I tell that I'm having an easier time, like, visually from how he's reacting to it, or...
I'm gonna say no.
Okay. So I'll just be oblivious to it then. I walk up to the door and have a look at it.
The inscription seems to flare at you, as if it's reacting. Do you want to continue approaching it?
I'm just gonna stand back just in case.
I'm gonna take a step back for so see if it calms down.
It does seem to calm down.
I take a step forward, take a step back again. Just start messing with it a little.
It
I
seems
guess.
very reactive to your presence. You can't tell if you're essentially starting to overload it or if it's actually like a reactive thing. Because
Hey,
occasionally
can you come over here? Like, I think it's safe if you stay like this far away, but I want to see if it's reacting. It'll react to you.
Okay. Ivory will walk up and get a little bit closer than Emerald is.
it stays about the same level.
Okay.
So sometimes with anti-magic, I'm gonna give this to Nez for his own personal information. It doesn't necessarily mean it just stops. Sometimes it overloads and explodes.
Yeah, I would probably be aware of that. Hence the whole being familiar with random explosions thing I mentioned earlier.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
And this is a fairly large inscription. It almost looks like it's one giant rune, but it's complex enough that that's not going to be a small explosion. And something down here going off with a big explosion is a very high possibility to just cave in the entire thing.
Yeah, and nobody's coming to help us. If not,
I don't know if anybody would be capable of coming to help you, especially if you cave in the upper area where they're all standing.
yeah.
Okay. How about Emerald stays back a bit so it doesn't go off, and Ivory will try to approach the jarred door.
So you get to the door and nothing happens. Do you turn? All right, to open it.
Yeah, we'll try.
So it takes quite a bit of effort, but you do manage to get it to open enough for you to slip inside. When you do you slip inside? Before I assume.
Gonna look first into the room before stepping inside.
So it looks like there's stuff in there, but something is actively attempting to block your vision.
That doesn't seem safe.
Okay.
It does seem to be struggling with Nez's existence at the moment, but it does seem like it is essentially made as a secondary barrier to prevent someone from just being able to look in the door and go, "Oh, that's what they're doing."
Oh, okay. He'll take a step inside, and he'll, like, get ready to launch himself out backwards, just in case anything happens.
Whenever you pass through the threshold, you step into a scene of just absolute frozen chaos. There is a probably the most complex spell circle you have ever seen in your life. A ring of unicorns wearing black and blue robes, and a singular unicorn wearing white and gold. And the white and gold one is standing pretty much directly in your way. They are all frozen still. None of them
Like frozen in time, or like ice frozen?
Frozen in time. None of them are reacting. Nothing is moving, but they look like if they just. It looks like somebody took a photograph and made it 3D, and you are standing inside of it. There is a massive orb of black energy as well in the center of that spell circle. And it's very obvious that the 13 cultists arranged around... Well, cultists. They're the colors imply that they are probably followers of Shadowfire, and then the white and gold one is attempting, by the looks of it, to stop them.
Okay.
Roll me. We're gonna have you roll an IQ, just a regular one.
Alright. Regular IQ. Fuck. 14. Barely failed.
So, looking around at this scene, you don't have enough magical knowledge to be able to really tell like what's going on here. You can tell that this white-robed unicorn is important to this somehow. Probably the one that's preventing anything from actually moving. But as to everything else, you have no clue. You might be able to, if you describe it well enough, give enough information to Nez that maybe he's read something that could help you. Or Emerald. And
Yeah.
there's also the possibility that if you talk to Nebula, it might jar a memory. If Emerald isn't able to give you anything. Because
Okay.
she seems older than first impressions. If she knows who, like, if she thinks she knows Shadowfire, and not the monstrosity that you guys know, but the actual Shadowfire. So you've got two options there. One of them is literally standing right outside, and
Yeah.
knowing how magic reacts to him, and the fact that this is frozen in time, it may not be a great idea to bring him inside.
Yeah. He'll step out and try to explain it as best he can. He has teaching, if that'll help him try to get it.
So I'm gonna make you actually explain it in character, and then if I
Okay.
think you need a roll, I will have you roll.
What was in
Alright.
there?
So there's this scene frozen in time. There's this massive spell circle in the center. Extremely complicated and convoluted, surrounded by, it was 13 wearing black.
Black
Right.
and blue. It's black with a blue trim.
Yep. 13 what looks to be followers of the beast, wearing black and blue robes, seemingly conjuring this massive black orb of energy in the middle of the circle. And then there's another one, they're all unicorns, another one wearing a white and gold robe, seemingly trying to stop them. I'm going to assume that the one in white and gold is somehow freezing whatever is happening in there, just from clues.
So Nez, I'm gonna have
Okay.
you roll an IQ +1.
Yay!
Because the new
Yeah.
Equestrian monarchy is very proud of what this is. You
Oh,
don't
I'm
even
good.
need it.
Maybe
Yeah.
5.
So this was one of the few classes that you could actually sit in, understand, and not be yelled at for causing explosions and random things to fizzle out.
Yay.
Because they're not capable of it anymore. What he's describing is a mega spell, and one of enormous proportions. Based on what you were described in your magic school, that it's a farce, but what you were described is that they believe that the more casters involved, the means more powerful it is. And they've come up with their own scaling to it. One caster means that it'll only kill about 1 mile's worth of people. And they just kind of scale it up by mile per person.
Like square miles? Just dang.
No, just like 1 mile. They didn't think far enough ahead to go square mile.
Okay.
Alright, so like mile radius.
So you're telling me there was 13 of them, and there's this like black orb of like shadows floating in the air?
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh god. That's not good. I don't think we want to touch that. That's likely to wipe out the entire mountain range.
Well, this is a slight issue if we intend to make this our base. You know,
there's a live nuclear warhead under our under our floor.
Hi, welcome to Megaton. We have a nuke in the middle of town.
Would I be more familiar with the white and gold robe? Like, would I have any idea what that's about?
You only understand that they may be followers of Shadowfire because you've literally seen the temple to him. As far as you guys are aware, there are no other Alicorns.
Okay, fair enough. Well, you said they're frozen in time. That might be fine, as long as I don't get too close to it. Speaking of, I back up like all the way like to the other side of the room, like far from the door. I don't want to.
He starts scooting backwards through the tunnel. It's like I'm not sure if I'm far enough away yet.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
No, I'm not coming back here. I don't think I want to be back here anymore.
Ivory will leave it for now. He doesn't want to touch anything and accidentally kill himself and everyone in the next 13-mile radius.
I will say that what mega spells are well enough known that once he's told you essentially what it does, you're well enough aware to know that that is in fact a mega spell.
Yeah.
I lead the way back up the tunnel because I don't want to be here anymore.
Yeah, Ivory will leave as well.
Okay. When you guys come back, Nebula is actually standing outside with Crazy Joe, who says, "You found the Cheerios, right?"
No.
No, definitely no Cheerios in there. Definitely not.
At your kind of frantic response, Nebula arcs an eyebrow and asks, "Then what is down there?"
Mega spell.
He hushes Emerald to not say that in front of everyone because he knows well enough to not cause a panic.
Okay.
Shoving a hoof into Emerald's face, and he's going to bring Nebula and Emerald aside, so they can.
Yeah, I basically get out, and then just get silenced and like shoved off to the side.
Yeah, just like not in front of everyone else.
Okay. You don't have to tell me twice.
Once they're in a position where it's safe enough to say anything without causing a panic among everyone else, he will be like, "Well, there's a mega spell frozen in time right below us now."
When you say that, you didn't think it was possible for something dark purple to turn almost a ghostly white, but Nebula has somehow accomplished that.
Yeah.
And
he will also emphasize, with 13 15 casters.
She, like, she's no longer standing. She sits down, and this just like breathless kind of stare, and asks in a strained voice, "You didn't touch anything, right?"
Nope.
Nope.
We left. Pretty much.
I didn't want to
as
be
we found
anywhere
out.
near that.
Yeah. What's it called? If Emerald here gets too close to the runes around the door, it causes an explosion large enough to collapse that entire chamber,
Maybe.
which I can only assume would defreeze the mega spell.
That's
So
that's
a
not what
minor
I'm.
explosion following a major.
That's not entire. That might not happen. It might just fizzle out. But like, what I'm more concerned about is if I get too
Not
close,
gonna take a
that
chance.
time will resume. Because
Mhm.
I might cancel out whatever is stopping that from continuing. So I'm not going back down there. You can't make me.
Yeah. Probably for the best.
She looks at the two of you, and then asks, You do realize how dire of a situation setting that off would be, right?"
Yes.
Hose down. I know exactly how bad that would be.
She
I know
raises,
exactly that would probably wipe this entire mountain range off the face of Equestria, not to mention what else it would spew into the wasteland.
she raises an eyebrow and says, "The mountain range. You think it'll take out the mountain range?"
No, I shrug.
At
Or
least.
She leans closer and says, "Try all of Equestria." While you were
As
looking around,
marginally worse.
I took a look at the journal. Apparently, Shadowfire was known as the Prince of Destruction. And I don't know where you got just the mountain range, but I
Listen.
have some understanding of what you call mega spells.
Listen, the distance on how much a mega spell can affect was very vague in school, and like I don't.
Yeah, he's the one I got.
I just wasn't sure how that worked exactly. Although I also dropped out, so I might not be able to. I'll refer to your judgment.
She pats you on the shoulder and says, "Based on my travels with Doc, most of Equestria has forgotten high magic is what it is technically called. Most of you refer to them as mega spells, which is, I guess, accurate as well. It's difficult to remember the exact information because I'm not exactly a spellcaster like the... what do you call it? The Guardian.
Yeah.
But, Shadowfire had an entry in a language that I understand. I don't know what it's called, but I understand it. And he said that they're developing spells that could wipe out half of the planet. And not even explosively. He detailed one that was essentially just a giant insect plague.
I've basically just been eyeing her up and down, like, since halfway through all that, and I'm like, how old are you?
She sighs and says, "I wish I knew." She then looks directly at you and says, "It feels easier to remember when you're around, though. And I don't understand why."
Do you want me to step closer, or I don't?
Proximity doesn't seem to affect it as often when it... As long as I can see you and you're within, like, hoof's reach, it seems to make things easier.
Okay.
Ivory will mutter suppression to himself.
She doesn't seem to have caught that.
Okay.
Emerald is just happy that someone actually likes him being next to them.
Ivory Facade is going to have a compulsive lying moment.
Yay.
He succeeds. Okay, so he doesn't withhold what he thinks, and he's going to look up and go, I think your memory is being suppressed.
She looks at you and says, "But why?"
That I don't know, but it's magical in nature. Because if Emerald makes it easier for you to remember, it must be magical.
She looks entirely confused and says, "But who am I that they would want to do that?"
At very least, a clairvoyant, potentially something more. You don't know how old you are. You see the beast as familiar. You know so much about mega spells. Someone or something doesn't want you remembering, and so have suppressed you. Ivory's face is all twisted and like kind of like the step back moment where you're like, damn, Eureka, and you can see all the lines. Ivory's trying to like piece this all together, but he's having a hard time kind of like bridging it all.
She kind of like sags a bit as she's sitting there and says, "Well, maybe perhaps we can glean something from the data pad. It may be magical in nature, but I know that the other group that Doc was with was always finding information that pertained to both sides." There's also a hint of desperation in her voice.
Mm-hmm.
Because her entire existence thus far has essentially been, who am I?
Yeah. Then we must make it back to the machinists. They'll potentially have some kind of power source, like a battery, or something we can hook it up to, maybe. On top of that, I no longer feel safe permanently.
If this can wipe out all of Equestria, I don't think it matters how far away we are from it. This is fine.
She looks at the tunnel and flips up the statue, closing the door, and says, "If it hasn't been discovered or disturbed thus far, I think it should be fine as long as we leave it alone."
I agree. We don't tell the new hires anything. we might want to clue Rapid Shatter and potentially dock in.
I look at Crazy Joe. Is he comprehending any of this? Because I feel like he's still standing right here.
Somehow, Crazy Joe.
Somehow,
Crazy Joe is immediately behind Ivory, drooling, and asks, "Do you have Cheerios?" In just like the creepiest voice.
Ivory will to turn back to them. I think we're fine with them in presence.
Okay. Yeah. Let's go see what everyone else is doing.
Yeah.
Speaking of, what would Rapid Shatter be doing right now? 'Cause he's been gone for a while.
He was just inventorying the robot parts while he waited.
Oh.
So, hold on. Okay. So, are you guys going to the Appalachian ruins? From here?
Yeah.
So,
we should probably head out.
you will be able to make it here? But it is still raining, and just so you're aware, because I don't always say anything about it, because it's not always relevant, but it is also still night. It has been night this entire time.
Oh.
One of the facts of the wastes is that sometimes night and day just don't.
Okay.
Okay. We should probably hang it out like another, day or so.
Another relative day.
I mean, it hasn't been a day, so we don't know how long that'll be. But let's just,
Yeah. At least, hopefully enough. At least stop raining, because we don't know when the sun will come back. And traveling at night is especially dangerous.
Okay. So you guys, who's gonna take watch? First, second, third. You can even set up a fourth if you trust one of those guys enough. Or
No.
force Rapid to join in.
So, well, first, Ivory, you mind giving me some first aid? I am indeed damaged a little bit. If that would heal me any. Or Emerald.
yeah. Sure. I can do that. Is that like a first aid roll?
So first aid would only be for stabilization, and
It does give a hit point.
it does give a hit point.
Yeah.
I will say the first aid is within the first 8 hours, I think is what it's supposed to be.
Yeah, you're only allowed to do it once.
Yeah. So
Definitely hasn't been 8 hours.
I will allow it this time for Ivory, but you can't do it again for Crazy.
Yeah. Here you go, Ivory. I don't know. Oh, yeah, you're fine.
I'll say that's 2 hit points.
Okay.
If it normally gives 1, then I'll say it's 2.
And then I'm at 8.
Okay. And then who's taking first watch?
I feel like I'm not gonna be able to fall asleep anytime soon, so I'll take first.
Okay. Roll your perception check.
Ha! Oh, that's another good one.
Your anxiety is on like just max, all of the anxiety, and as you're sitting there, you do notice the Tantibus is made its nightly appearance. But other than that, like, it seems pretty quiet, except every time something even vaguely moves, or you hear the sound of a snapping twig or something like that, you're just jumping at it.
I mean, aren't we still inside? I don't.
The door is open.
Yeah.
Like, the door was hard enough to open. I didn't imagine you guys trying to close it and then having to try to open it again.
Yeah.
Because it also gives you a quicker exit if you need to run from something inside.
Yeah.
Which you guys were already suspicious, so, you know.
I imagine we pushed it open and it was like an innie. I imagine if we pushed it closed, we might not be able to pull it back.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
On a positive note, though, it does stop raining.
Nice.
But it is still nighttime.
Okay.
So,
We didn't establish who was gonna take what shift.
pick somebody.
I will take last for cooking.
I guess I poked the Kieran.
Okay.
And off the. I should probably write down all these names because I'm drawing blanks again.
Yeah, I have them written down.
So, Nebula wakes up Ivory for final watch.
Alrighty. Where's perception? There it is. Success.
Okay. So, you don't see anything of note. And, once you settle down, are you going to attempt to commune with the Tantibus again?
Yeah, he'll try again.
Roll your will check.
Let's go! Fuck!
Almost crit success.
You were just like
Ivory,
so
the
against
king
this.
of, yeah, the king of like freaking willpower.
This is one of the few circumstances where I won't allow you to just voluntarily fail it, both for story reasons and for character reasons, and it amuses me.
Yeah. So,
What are we saying?
Ivory will once again sigh from the failure and just be like, ah, fuck. Yeah, screw it. Let's see. How does like leveling up and stuff work in this system? Because I don't know.
Theoretically, we're supposed to be getting more character points every session.
The main issue with that is the DM keeps forgetting, and on top of that, we've been so inconsistent because I am having issues keeping players in this game for some reason.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, it also works as an incentive to show up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your brains don't get experience points.
Which I will say something to that in the post game.
Yeah.
Which, if you're a Patreon, you actually get to join in on.
Woo.
Shameless
you really
plug, I think.
should. You know. Yeah. Well. You know, you'll get to sleuth about while we chat, and maybe Ivory will give you a visit.
Don't scare them off.
Sleep paralysis, demon.
I mean,
Anyways, what were you saying?
Can Ivory like practice his cooking for the end of the night? So like he'll be better when making meals to like keep his
It was
followers
either
enticed.
I believe it is There was a number to it.
Yeah, it was like
X
1,000 hours. For
Yeah.
like one experience
Yeah,
point.
it's a lot of hours.
Yeah.
So, like, yeah.
So you're gonna have to do a lot of practice.
Yeah, and it's not necessarily specifically practicing. I think it's just doing it. So like
Yeah.
just cooking in general. Like if you
I think
wanted
if
to
you
grind,
like,
you could like
actively
cook, like,
train, it goes through those hours faster.
Okay.
I don't know where the rules for that are, though.
Yeah, I would need to like talk to Moon because honestly, that is more of a Moon question.
that's also
Kinda wish
something
there
you
was
would have to
like a
track.
counter for that.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
like either a moon question or a hand wave it situation.
Well, can he like prep during the night so it's like easier to make it in the morning?
I don't see why not, depending on what you're making.
He's just making like basic food, but he's trying to make it nice enough.
Well, what do you mean by basic food? Because that will have an effect on what you're trying to do.
Let's see, what was
I'm a bit of a food snob, okay?
Listen, man, I don't know what's available in the wasteland.
Well, what do you think would be like something that would be readily available besides dried vegetables? Dried vegetables is a given. Because you'll have lots of dried goods. You have access to water because there's literally a river in the same hex as you, which means you might actually be able to catch some fish.
Oh yeah.
If you
I also have
forage enough,
alcohol,
you might.
So I can use that.
That is usable. You have your travel rations, which would consist of some sort of bread and like dried meats and veggies, stuff like that.
All right. Ivory will set out. We'll say a travel ration. And we'll just kind of like break it, roll lavish meals. Be like, true. We'll try and like, set that and then split for the meal, and then he'll set out the alcohol for some flavoring while cooking, and then he's going to go down, collect some water, try and fish, and then he'll put it together kind of as like a morning stew kind of thing with like the meat, the veggies, all together.
Okay.
And like the alcohol cooked meat and stuff.
Okay. So I'll say that gives you a +1.
Alrighty, I will take it.
Okay.
Let's go!
Not a crit success, but it is a success.
Success nonetheless.
Okay. So, do you guys want to go ahead and pin it for now? We've been going for just about 3 hours.
Yeah. I actually have a few things to say in the post-game discussion if anyone can and will join to listen to that.
I most definitely can and will be joining.
Yeah.
I'm willing and able to show up to the post game.
I am also the DM, so I have to be there.
I was more referring to the viewers. I'm just like, yeah.
Well, they have to be Patreons to be able to make it there, which
That's why I said can.
for those of you that are interested in showing further support to the channel, we would greatly appreciate if you check out the Patreon, link in the description. Starting at $1 a month, you can get a whole bunch of different things. If you go up to $5, you get to sit in on the podcast, which we will be having the artist podcast next week. as well
It's a very
as
good podcast. I can attest.
I've been on it, so I can attest. Anyways,
Yeah, I've been on it several times.
the Patreon at the $10 tier, you will also get your name shouted out at the end of every stream, video, whatever I happen to be doing that is on my channel. Which, by the way, a big thank you to my priest tier patrons: Cameo Shadowness, Scar Mix, Trailblazer, and who's the last one? Was it Ishi? I think it was Ishi. I have just massive brain fart right now. Let me look.
You really need like a text document that you can just pull up.
Every time I do that, every time I write it down, like, it gets entirely shaken up. Like, not even just like one or two people, like the entire list change. Ice crystal.
I mean, you could also just check before every session to make sure it's up to date. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, really.
That's work.
On itself.
That I forget to pull it up normally, because that's what I normally try to do, is open up the Patreon to look. But yeah, other than that, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring the notification bell, all that good stuff. If you want to join the community, the Discord is free and open, other than the like post-game discussion and the podcast stuff. That is for Patreons and guests only. Other than that, everybody have a great evening or afternoon. We will see you tomorrow for Heart of Darkness, and don't forget to drink water.
Hydrate or hydrate.
Well, the bomb got dropped upon us all, and the list of all unknowns is tall. But if there's anything we know, our stubbornness has shown, we'll climb up after any fall. We know who we are, but we still don't know who named us. Yeah, we know where we are, but we don't know where we came from. Leftover ashes in the sky, and the nations, all they do is fight. Yeah, the crown broke all our trust, so I guess it's up to us to save whatever's left of life. We know who we are, but we still don't know who named us. Yeah, we know where we are, but we don't know where we came from. But we still don't know who named us. Yeah, we know where we are, but we don't know where we came from. Oh, we know who we are, but we still don't know who named us. Yeah, we came from.